Hello, child of God. I welcome you once again to Christ Without Borders. Now, unless we allow ourselves to become instruments or tools in the hands of a creator, the problem that we're going to have is we will not be able to fulfill the purpose, or we will not be able to achieve what God has written in our books up there in heaven, or certain landmarks or achievements He wants us to achieve here. Allowing yourself for the Master's use, allowing Him to use you any way He wants to use you is very important, and it's very crucial to people really stepping into their mission, stepping into their purpose, for which God brought them here on earth. It's very important. Ever since growing up in life, I've never seen a pen that writes by itself. I've not seen a pen that writes by itself. I've not seen a cutlass that reads by itself. You know, you need somebody holding that cutlass to make it effective, to be able to achieve some of these things. It's very important. I've never seen a canvas being presented being shown off in an exhibition before. The canvas has to have a painting on it. Now, you get a painting on a canvas when the canvas allows the artists. I'm talking in terms of this, I'm speaking to Christians. Until you allow God to use you the way He wants to use you, it's going to be a problem. You know, and sometimes we come across that scripture that says there are a lot of vessels in the Master's house. You know, maybe what you want to be, you want to be a vase, but what the Master really wants urgently is a pot. Are you going to allow Him to remold you? Will you allow Him to use you as a pot instead of a vase? A lot of Christians are in this bracket. You know, a lot of us make it difficult for God to use us the way He wants to use you. A piece of marble can never be presented in any form of exhibition unless the sculptor goes there with his chisel, with his hammer and all that and works on it. You have to allow the sculptor to work on it. God is a creator. We are tools. The gifts He puts in you are tools that should allow Him to use you at a time and at a date and at a time that He wants to use you. But a lot of Christians get into this place where we only want to do certain things our own way. You know, we don't really avail ourselves for Him to use us the way He wants to. And that is the problem. We are tools in the hands of a creator. We are the brush, we are the colors in the hands of a painter. If you want your life to be worthwhile, you have to avail yourself for the Creator to use you into creating whatever picture, whatever art, whatever image He's trying to paint. You have to avail yourself. You have to allow yourself. Any which way He's using you, you know. And that is, and it's very important. A lot of us, you see, when you are very logical, it's very difficult for God to use you. If you are very logical, it will be difficult for God to use you. Because some of the instructions, they don't make sense. If you are trying to make sense of the instruction before you step out into, you will never take the first step. You will never take the first step. A lot of believers are caught up in this. What word would I use for this? A lot of believers are caught up in some of these places, when God speaks to us, when He's showing you a dream, showing you a vision, a lot of us want to think about it and let it make sense before we step out to do it. You will never take the first step if you want to be logical when God is instructing you. Whatever He's showing you, just go and do it. Do it the way He's telling you. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter if it doesn't make sense. Just go and do it. He says, do 1, 2, 3. Just go and do 1, 2, 3. And a lot of the times, you will never understand what He's saying until you have stepped out there to do that. And after doing it, that's when understanding comes to you. That's when the revelation comes to you, why He was asking you to do that. And most of the times, when He gives you such instructions, He's just testing your obedience. God is going to test your obedience before He starts using you at a higher level, before He starts using you at a higher dimension. He will tell you to walk away from things. I'm telling you. You can work in a particular place for 10 years. And just at the very moment you are promoted, you have a new house, you have a corner office, they are giving you such bonuses, they are giving you this. That's the time God comes and tells you to walk away and go and do His work. And He does that to test, to see whether you are really yielded or you want to do your own thing, or you want to hold on to certain things. When God comes through dreams, visions, prophetic messages, to give you certain words, don't try to think, don't try to be logical about it. A lot of believers are making these mistakes. Don't be logical. When He says, go out and sow a seed of 10 cedis to this one, just go and do it. It doesn't make sense. Don't try to let it make sense before you go and do it. Because when God comes in and is giving instructions, a lot of His instructions are time sensitive. Very important. A lot of the instructions God comes to bring to you, they are time sensitive. God is the controller of time. He's the one sitting on time. And a lot of the things He says or instructions He gives you, they are time sensitive. Don't let it make sense. Don't try to make it make sense. And don't go around telling this, telling that. They will give you the wrong advice. What He is telling you that you have heard, coming through dreams, vision, or even speaking to you audibly, depending on the kind of gifts you have. Just go and do what He's telling you to do it. There are a lot of messages I posted on TikTok, on YouTube that I didn't really understand the way the message is, but He said, go and put it out there. I just go and put it out there. And then later, when that thing happened, and that's when I understood what He was trying to do. Don't try to make what God is telling you make sense before you execute it, because a lot of His instructions, they are higher. You won't understand it. Your human brain will not be able to comprehend them until the time comes that He allows that revelation to make sense to you. Some of the time, you hold the revelations away from you for an appointed time. Don't wait for what God is telling you to make sense before you carry it out. Because a lot of the instructions, a lot of the things He brings to you, especially when you are just returned to Him and He's trying to get you to speed on His giving you certain instructions and checking on your obedience. A lot of those instructions will never make sense. Just go out there and do what He's telling you. Now, I want to say this. This victory will be the first of many landmark and decisive victories ahead in the future. Continue to keep a heart of compassion. Continue to keep an open heart. Do everything you do, make sure it's the right thing before God. Everything you do, make sure it's the right thing before God. Do your best. Keep your hands clean. This is what I have to say. Welcome once again to Christ Without Borders. Thank you for watching.